Hi, Busan. I got sick. I threw up last night around 2 in the morning. I don't know what the fuck it was. Like, honestly, it was whatever. Like, I've definitely had cases where I just, like, I'm like, completely out for a couple days. But honestly, I just needed to throw up a couple times. And then I was fine. But now we're leaving Busan and we're going to Jeju. Very exciting. I'm pretty tired and I don't know how much I'll be able to eat on these next couple of days at Jeju. Like, I think this really sucks. But yeah, we'll be flying to Jeju today. It's only an hour. So, see you soon. Jeju, we have our rental car. It's an electric car because I didn't want to deal with trying to like fill up gas in a different country. Here it is. It's a Kia. There's no Prindle, guys. It's just one of these. Now we're on the road. It's so fun. I'm not driving, so I'm not stressed. I'm sure you can see the ocean behind me. This is Jeju black pork. It's called black pork because that's the breed of pig that they have on Jeju, specifically on Jeju. And they eat it with this fish sauce that's used with the seafood from Jeju itself. The fish sauce is very mild compared to Vietnamese fish sauce, but it's really good and it complements the meat really well. How do you feel?
Not well.
Why?
Too tired.
So we climbed to the top of this mountain and I thought it was gonna be like not a crazy hike. So we didn't bring water. And we also hiked it at like 6 in the morning because sunrise is at 6:30. So yeah. the ferry to Udo. It's so windy here today. Oh my gosh. Wish us luck. Good morning. It's 8:30 and I'm at a 24-hour laundromat. First of all, I actually didn't think laundromats existed in Korea, like low key. Like I don't know why I thought that. Everybody gotta wash their clothes. But this place is really cute, really small. It has 3 dryers, 3 washers. But the reason why we came is because there is a washer and dryer provided at the hotel I chose. What ended up happening was that washer takes an hour and 30 minutes to wash clothes, and then the dryer takes up to 2 hours. So in total, it's almost like 4 hours of washing clothes. We washed half of our load of laundry last night, and then other people were trying to wash their clothes too. And so then we just were like, fuck, we can't do this. So then we woke up at 5 in the morning, because we were like, okay, let's just go wash clothes at 5 in the morning. We'll leave by like 9. I think that's totally fine. We go down there. There's clothes in the washing machine, which means somebody loaded the laundry at like 4 in the morning. So somebody else had the same idea as us. I was like, you know what? Let's just go to the laundromat, because Kevin had looked up a laundromat, and we were banking on the fact that the laundromat doesn't take that long. It's going to take 30 minutes to wash our clothes, and then I don't know how long it's going to dry, but 30 minutes is already phenomenal. That already cuts the washing time like in a half, more than half. So it's great. Yeah, it's just I don't feel right. Like, the people leave their shit unattended all the time here. And it's such a culture shock to me and Kevin, because we're just like, we can never do it. I think I've done it like once or twice. So like, yeah, but it just, I don't know, something about it makes me uncomfortable. I also have my suitcase. I should leave it. I have my suitcase here because that's what all the dirty clothes in. So if I leave, it's just my empty suitcase and then my clothes, and then like, I don't know, it's just something about it makes me uncomfortable. You know, I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know. But anyways, I think I've been rambling for long enough now. I'm just rambling because I'm lonely in here. guys, an unidentifiable bug flew into my coffee, and Kevin was trying to get it out, and it went in. So I had to get another one. Here it is. Look at the ice, so cute. But look at how much coffee I had left. I had that much coffee left. And Kevin was like, you can still drink it. I'll just like grab him out with my fingers. So now we're here finishing up another latte. That one.
This folk village is an official UNESCO site, so it is beautifully preserved to showcase the historical architecture of how the natives lived on Jeju. It is essentially a really large park. I mean, it is a village, and we really appreciated that they set up the homes with artifacts to really show how the homes were like back then and what tools the people might have used. Though, as we explored, we did find some unexpected jump scares, like these figures dressed in traditional clothing. There were also these lifelike statues placed in random houses, and it was a jump scare every time you saw them. Since it was such a big area, most of the time when we were exploring, we were by ourselves, so when we ran into one of those statues, it was just a moment of like, oh, what is that? But I do think the statues are great at helping show the history in a visual way. It was really fun exploring the different sections of the village, like where the kids would go to school, or where the fishermen lived, and what the luxuries of the village chief was. There were gorgeous flower fields all throughout, the weather was so nice, and it was really great that there were English translations available, so we were actually able to read and learn about the village and its culture. We came upon this random petting zoo. It had no employees and nobody was really there, but there was a vending machine for carrots that you could feed to them, and if you look here, they kind of go crazy for it. I did feel a little bad for them just because in general I don't like petting zoos and stuff like this, but it was fun, and like, come on, look at their little faces! There were also other animals there like deer and goats, but we didn't really do much with them. Then we also ran into this peacock. It was a really big surprise for us, we didn't expect it, and then he fanned out his feathers for us. It was very, very pretty in person. Afterwards, we just kept walking around, and we were able to see some early blooming cherry blossoms before we finally left. this is called the Osalak Tea Museum, but it's not so much of a museum in my opinion. There is like a section where you see them roasting the tea, and there's some cool like tea bag movement around and a little bit of history, but actually it's just a really big tea store with exclusive Jeju Island flavored teas. The teas here are really good. We got a bunch for our family and for ourselves to bring home. There's also a really nice cafe, and so we got a matcha latte, as well as a halabong tropical tea and a matcha tiramisu. The seating area was outside. You could see the flowers, the trees, and it was actually really pretty inside. Like, look at this, so aesthetic. And then we walked around some more further down where you can actually see the big tea fields. This was so cool to see in person. Right next to the fields was the Innisfree Jeju House. Innisfree is a Korean skincare brand that has a line around Jeju Island green tea, so it was cool to see the exclusives they had here. There was also a cafe provided by Innisfree. It was so beautiful inside. They had a lot of teas as well, and we sat in there and then took some pictures with the tea fields.
morning. We are at our breakfast buffet. I personally really like the breakfast buffet. I had the food yesterday was really good. There's a different selection today. Yeah, they have Chinese food, Korean food, and American breakfast. What's really good is this pressed juice. It's freshly pressed, so you just go up and you ask. So this is carrot and apple juice. Fun fact, Jeju Island is known for their carrots as well because the soil here is really rich in nutrients. And so the carrots and root vegetables such as radish have really good natural flavor and a really good natural sweetness from the soil. In addition to all the tangerines, you'll find plenty of carrot-themed stuff as well in Jeju.
I am full on Jeju tourist today. This is my Snoopy tangerine hat. I don't know if you can see it, but it has a little tangerine top too. It's so cute. Today we are doing some outdoors activities like looking at some cliffs and waterfalls that are like famous. So I had to pull out the hat. Kevin's stacking some rocks. Wait, do that again.
We're going on a trip in our favorite rocket ship.
This hotel was super cool. It's like a boutique resort hotel type of thing. It was built by a famous architecture. So in the middle is this really big light fixture that was really cool. And all the hallways are built in a way to really emphasize on natural lighting and nature on the outside. So during the daytime, everything is lit with only sunlight. We booked the traditional Korean style architecture for our room. And so this was really cool to see. It reminded me of a Japanese ryokan, right? But Korean. The bed was super nice. The sheets were really cool and plush. And then there was this veranda where the doors open to this really cute garden. I expect in the fall time there would be really nice colorful leaves. There's also a little table out there where you can sit out there and drink tea or eat and admire the view. We appreciated how nice and spacious this room was. And in addition to everything else, the bathroom actually has a private hot spring bath. And that was really nice. It was super great to be able to relax in that at the end of the day. for the last couple of hours before we had to go to the airport, we really just went cherry blossom chasing. We drove around the city and ended up finding this really cute park. It had this beautiful walkway filled with these cherry blossom trees, so I had to take some photos there and take advantage of this. But yeah, we really just viewed cherry blossoms and then got to the airport.
Hey, I really hope you liked watching our adventures in Jeju. We surely had a great time while we were there. I'm kind of sorry that near the end we started really lacking in footage, and that's really because we were tired. By that point, I think we would have been gone from Chicago for like 2 weeks, maybe over 2 weeks in total. And so I just really started wanting to savor in the moments that we had and just kind of relax. I spent a lot of time debating whether or not to include our last 2 days of Seoul in this video, but Kevin and I like to look back on these, and it's for our own enjoyment as well, and so I've decided to kind of just include that as well. So in our last 2 days we did not do much, and that was purposeful. It was really just kind of supposed to be relaxing, do whatever. There was literally nothing on the itinerary except for my tattoo. I really liked the tattoo. It was so cute, so perfect. I love Gojo, and so this was just a unique twist on a Gojo tattoo that I had wanted. After we rested for a little bit, we went to this area that is known to have, it's an artificial waterfall in Seoul, and it's part of this like really big park. We hoped to find some cherry blossoms there, but in Seoul there were no cherry blossoms as it randomly got super cold while we were there, and so the blossoms just didn't bloom, even though it was expected to have bloomed by then. Afterwards, we stopped by a Pokemon card shop that was nearby. It was probably the best Pokemon card shop we had seen in Seoul, or in Korea in general. Korea's Pokemon card scene is much like smaller than in Japan, obviously, and like even America. Like there's just isn't really great card shops, but this card shop was really cool. The next day was our true full last day in Seoul, and so I made it a thing for me to make sure to get all the foods that I wanted to get, like my favorite foods. And so my tattoo artist had actually recommended me a cold noodle spot. I love bibimbap naengmyeon. It's just spicy cold noodles, and so she recommended me the spot that was nearby, and it was so good, guys. Like it was actually the best bibimbap naengmyeon I've ever had. There is this cat themed souvenir shop that was nearby that I had on my wish list for a while. Like I found this shop through Instagram before we even planned to go back to Korea, and so I was like, I have to go there. I went, and it was exactly what I wanted it to be. It was so cute. It was smaller than I expected, but it was so cute, and I definitely did buy a couple of things from there. Then afterwards I had like a second lunch. As I mentioned, I really loved the black bean noodles from this one spot, so I went back. It was just really good. Like I dream about those noodles every day. Then for dinner, Kevin had been really wanting dakitorang. I think I'm pronouncing that right. It's kind of this, it's just like chicken in a like spicy soup situation. And so I found this spot, and it was mega busy. It was so busy when we went in there. They had a waiting list. We had to sit outside and put our names on the waiting list, and I think we waited a little bit over 30 minutes. We got our table, and look at this huge amount of food we got. It was, and the little chicken that they add is like really cute. We did not finish all of this food, but it was very good and very comforting. Then I saw on TikTok that there was a cherry blossom tree that had bloomed early near the Hongdae station in exit 6, and so we had to go find that. I told him, I was like, we have to go see this, and so we did, and we saw it at night. It was a huge tree. It was very pretty, and there were a lot of other people there taking pictures with their camera. Yeah, that was quite literally how we ended the night. After the cherry blossoms, we just went home, and I had to figure out the packing stuff. God, guys, I bought way too much stuff, but I packed everything up. Then we went to sleep, and the next morning we had to wake up pretty early. I think I want to say around 4 o'clock, and we had to leave by like 5
to get to the airport. And then this is the most exciting part. I have always wanted to go to the airport, go to the Incheon airport and experience seeing a K-pop group there, because if you don't know anything about K-pop culture, in K-pop there are these things known as fan sites, and fan sites are just dedicated people who take like pictures of these celebrities and upload them. But they take pictures of these celebrities at every event, and one of these events are them being at the airport. I know that's weird if you're not into K-pop, but it's just a thing. It's always been around, and I've always wanted to experience it because I think it's like kind of crazy, and we did. We got to experience it, and I clocked it so fast. We were walking to our gate. We were just walking to our gate, and I immediately saw this girl with this camera where the lens was like, I'm not kidding, this big. And I looked at Kevin and I said, a K-pop star is here. And he was like, what? And I was like, they're here. And I looked in the direction she was looking, and it was like an escalators, like going up. But since she was down there, I was like, they're gonna come down. So we stood there, we looked, and this group of boys comes down with their security and a bunch of other girls. At first, I was like, oh, you know, like they're going in our direction, let's just kind of keep going and like see how this goes. And Kevin thought it was so crazy. He was like, I've never seen this before, I didn't know this was a thing. And I was trying so hard to figure out who these guys were. I was like, you know, they have masks on, they have security. I was having a hard time, but I was just like, I was like, if it's somebody that I really like am a fan of, I feel like I would have recognized them by now, right? I can't. And so we just keep walking, and I was like, do you think they're at our gate? Because mind you, our gate was like pretty far down. I think it was gonna be like a 10-minute walk from where we had like found them at the escalators, and they just kept going in the direction that we were going. And I was like, and yes, they were indeed at our gate. They were boarding the flight before our flight. So we make it to our gate, and they get there too, and they go through it. And Kevin was like, what the heck? And we were trying to figure out who they were. I had to text my friends and stuff. And, you know, eventually we found out it was NCT Wish. They are young, and I don't keep up with like the younger groups, so I have no idea who they are. I've never listened to any of their music. I was saddened by this news, as I wish it was NCT 127. I know them, and I would have liked to seen them. Literally just any group that I know, but it was a group I didn't know. But that's okay. It was still a fun experience. Then after that, we flew home. So yeah, thank you for watching this far. Thank you for watching both the videos. And like I said, I hope that you really enjoyed watching our adventures in Korea. I hope I was able to really highlight the beauty of Jeju Island and how fun it is to just be in Korea, both in Seoul and Busan, and the, like, you know, the food, the cafe, the culture. Yeah, like I definitely want to go back again, but we will be visiting other countries as it's time to explore other places. But yeah, thank you so much. Bye.